Awesome. Well, who here has not sold a homemaker yet? Who has not sold an ultimate set yet? Signature. All right. Well, Chris, I don't know if you know this fun fact, embarrassing fact about me, but fun fact. This is honest. Hand up, accountability. I did not sell my first homemaker set until I was at 25,000 in career sales.
You're kidding me.
Nope, dead serious. Most people, they'll sell the homemaker set and their fast start or something. Nah, I was just pieces. I was just like pieces, 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 pieces. I had a 2K order, but it was just a bunch of random stuff that a person wanted, right? Um, so I share that for everybody on this call to, hey, look, it's all good, right? It's all good. So I just want to, before I jump into it, I want to talk about the way that I think about this, right? So, we get paid for our time, right? So we get paid for our time. Obviously, base pay when you're new, and then as you progress throughout it, it's like, hey, get paid for our time. And what made a big paradigm shift for me was how can I get paid $500 an hour? Like that's pretty cool. Like if I get paid, if I actually do the math, the phoning, all that stuff, the demos, how do I do that? How do I get paid 500 bucks an hour? How do I make earn $1,000 before 12 o'clock, before all my buddies wake up that are sleeping in from college, right? Because I started as a college student over the summer. So it's like, how do I do a 9 o'clock, a 10 o'clock, and 11:30 and sell, 3 grand, right? And how do I like earn, right? So like that was a big thing for me. I was like, okay, well, how do I do that? And I'm like, okay, well, I could grind it out with this piece thing, right? Or I could figure out how to sell sets. And then once 25K hit, my average order for everybody on this call, my average order when I was brand new, because I was just selling pieces and just grinding and working really hard, my average order was like 200 bucks. So I was not like this savant sales rep. And I share that with you because I wasn't. Now I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to teach you guys the whys behind what you're doing. So you don't have to wait until you get to 25 grand to sell a homemaker set, until you could just do it now. Sell an ultimate set, sell a signature set, sell, which will also help you sell other things that we make, right? So anyway, let's jump into it. Uh, the selling bigger sets. So helping you go from good to great. The goods that I'm about to, I know Chris typed me up, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I have a private coaching program where I teach this message all the time, how to sell bigger sets. And these are screenshots from my WhatsApp group where it's like reps are selling Cutco kitchens. Like I had this rep that sold 2 Cutco kitchens in one day. He had a $10,000 day. Zane Baumervath, Chris, he's a CSP in Seattle area. Sold 10 grand as a college student, right? Sold pots and pans, Siggy upgrades. So, the goal of this message is really just to give you the tools and help you build a skill set, right? Here's more and more and more testimonials of people having 5K orders, 8.5K order, right? Accomplished cookware, just dropped a half Cutco kitchen, ultimate upgrade, accomplished cookware, accessory package, 4K. All of these people never sold big orders, right? But I'm going to give you guys the goods. So we're going to go over these four tips right here. So where to start? Confidence in the sets. So confidence in the sets, the strategy behind showing the sets, names and uses and problem solving, and then closing and leveraging team and product, leveraging your team and your product. Okay. So confidence in the sets. So when I started to sell a lot more sets, it was really stemming from having a lot more confidence in the sets. And I started to believe it's not too many knives and it's not too much money. And they already have that amount of knives already. So I'm going to stop here on those first 3 bullet points. The main reasons why I think it's important for you guys to realize why I didn't sell sets and why I do sell sets now. So when I was young, I created all these false stories in my head. We all do it. We all create stories in our head, positive, negative, whatever it might be. So I told myself it was too many knives. I told myself it was too much money. But I was the broke college kid. I was the 18-year-old. I was not the cook. I did not cut up food on a daily basis, right? I didn't make that much money. I was scooping ice cream at Carvel. They and then they and I was leaning into the college kid thing, and the best thing I ever did at 18 years old was learn that I need to put myself in the shoes of my clients and not myself, and I need to meet them where they are. So I just started to do research on how much things in the house cost. I started to rewrite this narrative in my head that it's not that much money. It really isn't that much money. Um, Refrigerators cost $3,000, $2,000, and you have to replace them every 10 years. So, if someone lives to be 80 and they bought a house at 30, they're replacing it, at 40, at 50, at 60, something like that. They've spent 10 grand on just refrigerators, and then dishwashers and washers and dryers. Guys, I'm not talking about someone buying a Lamborghini. I'm talking about simple necessities that everybody needs: a kitchen, a refrigerator, right? A washer, a dryer, okay? Really simple stuff. So, and then I started to do the math on how much like grocery bills cost: $500, $1,000. Some people go to Costco and spend $1,000 like it's water, like it's nothing. They're like, yep, we got 4 kids. They eat a lot of food. It's $800, right? So it was the big money thing for me, right? Too many knives. I started to ask my mom like how many knives she uses, and she's like, "Well, I got this one for this one, and this one and for this one, and this one for this one," and she had 6, 7, 8, 10 knives, right? So what I started to realize is they already have the same amount of knives in the signature and the ultimate already. They already have it. How many times have you gone to someone's house and they have a block set on their counter? Or maybe they have two bad block sets on their counter. That's happened to me, right? So they literally have 18 pieces plus 18 pieces. And then they have a drawer full of chipped knives and broken knives, and they have like 10 more pieces there. So they have like 38 pieces or 46 knives in their kitchen. So it's helping me realize like that it's not that many pieces and it's not too much money. So you'll hear me as a 19-year-old talk about that. Yeah, Mrs. Jones, it's really not that much money and it's not that many pieces. So I'm handling that objection before it comes out, right? I'm like, oh, Mrs. Jones, you might be looking at this and just going like, hey, it looks like a bigger set. It's honestly not that many pieces, and it's not that much money, right? Because if you freak out and you're like, oh, it is a lot of money, it's really expensive, but it's worth it. It's like, hey, it's not that much, like in the grand scheme of things, right? In perspective, because life is all about perspective. So, and I started to master the terminology of the right tool for the right job. The right tool for the right job. You need to say that all the time. Mrs. Jones, our sets come with the right tool for the right job. Our complete set comes for the right tool for the right job. The right tool for the right job. The right tool for the right job. And as a young 30-year-old now, I'm not even in the target market. I'm not even 40. Like the target market with Cutco is really 40 to 55, 60 in that range, right? That's our bread and butter. Sure. Can you sell to someone 65? Can you sell to someone in their 30s? Absolutely. But for your success, you want to be sitting with people down that are 40 to 55 years old, somewhere in that range, like niche down. Anyway, where I'm going with that is the right tool for the right job. As a homeowner, you'll learn that you need all these different screwdrivers in your toolkit. Just the other day, I was working on a project around the house, like a fire pit that we bought, and I needed a little tiny screwdriver, and I realized I didn't have it. I figured it out and made do with it, but I'm like, man, that would have made that so much easier if I had this little tiny screwdriver where I could get into this little spot, right? So the right tool for the right job. That is a line. It's a line, yes, but it is a line that resonates with people all the time. The right tool for the right job, or the right shoe for the right occasion. So that's another line that I use. Yeah, it's like Mrs. Jones, knives are just like shoes. It's like having the right shoe for the right occasion. Okay. The feeling of being complete. So the way that I pitch the complete set is I talk about Mrs. Jones, this is the set that you're just complete. You're done. You check off knives forever. It's June 15th, 16th, 17th. You're done. You're done forever for the rest of your life. You're done. You're complete forever. You're done. Just go on, live your life. You got the knives checked off, right? Um, or the signature set, right? Signature, homemaker, all that stuff. It's like people get the sets because they want to be complete, Mrs. Jones. They just want to check the box on knives forever. Say that all the time. It's funny, Zane Baumervath, who sold the two Cutco kitchens, I was like, Zane, how'd you sell the Cutco kitchens? And I kind of knew what he was going to say because I've coached him for a year and a half personally, and we would grab one-on-one hour-long calls and just drill for skill. And he goes, like some of you on this call might be like, man, he must have been a master at understanding cookware and how it's designed and the flatware and the intricacies of it. And he goes, no, Rob, I literally just said, hey, Miss Jones, like most people get the Cutco kitchen and just be done with it. Check off knives, pots, and pans for the rest of your life. You're done. It's over. Guaranteed forever. Free replacement, free sharpening. You're done. You're done. It's over. You're done. Forget about it. It's over, right? You're done. You're done with buying bad kitchen products. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty much what I said the whole time. And he's like, I sold a Cutco kitchen to this person, and then I sold another Cutco kitchen to their best friend because I did a demo with their best friend afterwards. So best savings, Mrs. Jones, is the best savings. You truly have to believe that. And what I did was I was like, are they saving the most amount of money? Yeah, they are. Because if someone just buys pieces, if you add up individually, go on the Vector app, the orders app, and add up individually everything that the Ultimate costs. And you'll see it's like 42, 43, 4,500. And the set actually costs, 36, whatever it is, right? So it's like they save $900 by just getting it today versus adding on eventually, right? The 5 pay, I became a master at meeting someone where they are. When I talk about the Ultimate set, I always say the verbiage, I always break it down to what people are currently buying. So, one of the reps that I coach, his name's Jared Erickson. He's only 23 years old, but he sells about 400 grand a year. He makes $200,000 selling Cutco as a 23, 24-year-old. Pretty cool, right? Raise your hand. You'd like that. That's kind of cool. Like 200 grand a year. Yeah. And he's only been selling Cutco for about 3 or 4 years. So it's not like it took him a decade to learn how to do it. He just coached with me and I taught him really great stuff at a young age. And he's just boom, 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 implements it. And he had like a $12,000 day at an event. So one of the things everybody on this call wants to do is, get events trained, get service call trained at 15, 20 grand. Like, put that as a goal for the summertime. It's not going to happen right away. You might have just started last week, but it's like, hey, how can I get service call trained at 15K or 20K? Have that be a goal for this summer, right? Anyway, he did an event and he sold $12,000. And I was like, Jared, dude, awesome event. Way to sell 12 grand in 12 hours. Like, you made $6,000 today. How's that feel? Great. I'm like, cool. What'd you do? What made you successful on that? And he goes, honestly, Rob, like, we're at a home show and I was just asking people if they've bought anything today or if they've bought things in the past at this home show. And people would tell me that they bought jacuzzis, they bought spas, they bought pools, they bought saunas. And I would just, by asking like what they've bought in the past, I was able to give it perspective with Cutco. So someone said they bought like an $8,000 jacuzzi. I was like, yeah, Mrs. Jones. So the Ultimate set's only like, 3,500. It's like half the cost of the jacuzzi, but you'll use it every single day and you'll have it for the rest of your life. He's like, Rob, I can't tell you how many times I just listen to what people spend their money on. And then I just put it in perspective because that's what life's all about. It's all about perspective, right? $3,000 might sound like a lot to somebody, but if someone's going to use it every day, 5 times a day for the rest of their life, the return on their investment is absolutely astronomical. And it's like a no-brainer. So, and that's how I talk to people. I'm like, yeah, it's not that much money when you actually think about it. And like, I coach my customers up on perspective, right? So, I'll talk about the 5 pay. The 5 pay was like the 5 pay. If you want to sell more sets, 5 pay. If you want to get your average order from $300 to $800 to $1,000 to $1,200, 5 pay. 5 months, right? Our 5 pay is very unique. A lot of people think that the 5 pay, what they've been programmed to in life, is layaway. Oh, I have to pay this whole thing off and then I get the product. I just had a woman last week go, oh, nice. So when do I get the product? Like 5 months from now? And I'm like, no, no, no. You get it literally. I'm going to put the order in on Friday and you're going to get it, on Monday or Tuesday. And then you keep paying it off. And they're like, oh, awesome. Okay. I didn't know how that worked. I thought it was like layaway or something, right? So she's like, yeah, let's do it. Easy homemaker plus 8. She was like, yeah, let's do it. Sounds good. 300 something bucks a month. Perfect. 5 pay. I always say when I'm talking about the ultimate set, I always talk about Costco or like a big box store, Sam's Club, something like that, because the it's usually around 500, 600 bucks when someone goes to Costco. When my wife goes to Costco, I prepare for 400 to $500 on the credit card. I'm like, yep, probably going to be in that range, like 600 bucks. Okay, spent a little extra there that day. And we do it once a month, right? Signature set. I talk about a car payment. But by the way, and that's why I love doing in-person stuff. I know you guys might do a mix of in-person and virtuals, but I love doing in-persons. The reason why I love doing in-persons is because when I drive to someone's house, I can see that they have, a Honda Odyssey or like a Toyota Sienna. Notice how I'm not naming like a Ferrari or a Porsche or like a BMW. I'm naming like simple average cars. A Toyota Sienna is a minivan. Honda Odyssey is a minivan. You're seeing moms, and I see that it's a new Toyota Sienna. Okay, well, I know from doing research, like I've talked about on the previous bullet points. Do research, right? Honda Odysseys cost $60,000 now. The average, like I went to actually go and buy one, and there was like a 2024 Honda Odyssey, or not, Toyota Sienna, sorry, Toyota Sienna. And I was like, great. So it's 60 grand. How much is the car payment? And they're like, that'll be $975 a month. And I was like, for a minivan. Sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. Cool, 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 cool. Um, you know, I'm not talking about a BMW or Mercedes and anything else that you see in someone's driveway, right? So I always relate like a signature or a homemaker to a car payment. And I'll always say to them, hey, if you could swing like an extra like car payment, guys, when like my car insurance comes out, like I think I pay like 300 bucks in car insurance between all of our cars. I'm in my early 30s. I'm not like, oh my God, we're never gonna live. Oh my gosh, 300 bucks came out. Oh my God, how am I gonna feed my family? No, it's like, I hate seeing that insurance because I don't really do much with it. And like, but it is what it is, right? I don't even notice it. I'm like, oh yeah, it came out this month. Perfect, right? So, again, that's why you're seeing people that are married, own a home, work full time, have kids. It just kind of comes out, right? So, strategy behind showing the sets. So let's move on to strategy behind the sets. So why are we showing the bigger sets? For the customers to get the best deals, So I think I added up, how much an ultimate set was with table knives. I don't know if the pricing is correct on this, but at the time when I did this, it was $38.39 versus $31.93. So they saved $646 by getting it as a set. Solving the customer's problems, dull knives, broken knives, cheap knives, hodgepodge, the best thing in their kitchen/house. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you're not showing it, you're not going to be able to sell it. It's really funny. Like I'm not. I think the reason why reps don't show the sets is, and I speak for myself, my early self too. I think the reason why I didn't show the sets is because I thought by showing them they have to buy it, or like, something like that. And something weird where I'm like, oh, I'm not even gonna show the ultimate. But by showing the ultimate, it gave perspective that the homemaker set is small. It gave perspective that the space saver set is tiny. It gave perspective that this set is small, right? And it got my average order up to $1,000 by showing the ultimate sets. So I sold a lot more, like Chris talked about, I sold a lot more homemaker sets because I showed the ultimate. I sold a lot more galley sets. I had $1,000 average order, right? I didn't have a $3,000 average order. Yeah, I would sell ultimate sets, but I would also sell a couple pieces here and there. The idea is every customer, every time. Every customer, every time. Never prejudge. Every customer, every time. And that's the beautiful thing about doing events. Again, like one of your goals should be, all right, I'm doing demos. I want to do service calls. I want to do events. Like talk to Chris, talk to Drew, talk to Brian, talk to Josh. How can I get events trained? Like that should be a goal of yours in the next 6 months is like, how do I get events trained? The thing that I've learned about events, and you guys have one of the biggest events in the entire country, the New York State Fair, Chris. People fly, Josh Muller, Curtis JQ's fly in. They're like, this is an epic event. Like people love Cutco in New York, right? Everybody loves Cutco in New York. This is one of the biggest events. I don't know what the exact number is, but I think $500,000 is sold in like 10 days there or something like that. Something wild.
Correct. Half mil. Yep.
Like some of you guys are like, do people
And
like Cutco?
it's all upstate New York people. It's all
Yeah.
farmers and middle class people, people in overalls, people in ripped t-shirts buying homemaker sets.
Yeah, guys, it's not Manhattan. By the way, they don't cook. Like you're like, oh, there's a lot of money there. Yeah, they don't cook. Like it's very hard. It's actually very hard to sell in Manhattan. I've tried doing it, right? So Long Island, Manhattan, all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, average everyday Americans love cut. You guys, some of you guys are like, I just started selling Cutco. Do people like this stuff? Yeah, we sell $500,000 during like a 10-day period up here. So yeah, it's pretty good. So anyway, where I'm going with that is a lot of reps don't show the ultimate set because I don't know, they're scared about the price. The rep is scared, not the customer. They're scared about the pieces, the customer isn't, right? So you're limiting your customers' options by not showing the ultimate set. And it's kind of comical to me at this point, Chris, when I call somebody or I meet someone and they're like, oh, I got the big set with Cutco. And I'm like, oh, awesome. And then I go to their house to either do a service call or I meet them at an event and I point to the ultimate set, or when I go to their house to do a service call, or if I'm back in my earlier days when I wasn't service call trained and someone had said they had the big set when I called them, Mrs. Jones, and I would go to their house, I'm like, got the big set. I'm like, oh, awesome. And I'm expecting to see the ultimate and I roll up and it's not even like a homemaker set. It's like the galley set. They're like, I got the big set. And I'm like, you got this set? And then I always bring this with me too. This is the Cutco kitchen brochure. So if you don't have this, ask your manager for it because it helps paint a picture of everything that we make and it gives perspective. So I right here have the ultimate signature and homemaker set right there, right? So and then it has the flatware chest. And I got this laminated at Staples. I spent a couple extra bucks and got this laminated at Staples. So that way it doesn't like get a lot of wear and tear. So I don't go through these a million times. But I show this to every customer every time. On this talk, everybody, we're talking about showing the ultimate and the signature, but I want to let you know I show everything. So I don't skimp. I show everything. And that's how I have $1,000 plus average order on service calls because the young rep that was too scared to show them the ultimate set. And if you feel called out right here, it's all good. I was the young rep that was too scared to show it. And I'm going back and seeing people that I saw 10 years ago, and they're like, Rob, I got the big set. And I'm like, well, Mrs. Jones, I'm a little too scared to show you the complete set. You actually have the Space Saver set. So, I'm just kidding. They're like, yeah, I got the homemaker set. I got everything. And I'm like, nah, you don't have the cheese knife, the Sears, this, it just isn't right. So anyway, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I can't tell you how many ultimate upgrades I've walked into because the young rep didn't show them the ultimate set. They're like, oh, there's a bigger set? I'm like, yeah, there's a bigger set. They're like, oh, how do we get that? And I'm like, this is how you get it, ultimate upgrade. And they're like, all right, cool. So simple $1,000 sale, $2,000 sale for you to earn the most money. So like, yeah, obviously we want to show that the win for you is that it's a win-win. So your customer wins by saving money. Your customer has the right tool for the right job. You win by earning the most money in that time frame. Like I said, I wanted to make $1,000 before 12 o'clock a lot of summer days before my friends woke up. Average order will only be what you show them. And then get familiar with the orders apps. One of the things that I did with one of my reps that I coached, her name's Anastasia. She's also from Washington State, Seattle, Washington area. Austin Oberling's person, Chris. She did not have a big average order. She She would sell 300 grand in a year, everybody, but her average order was 300 bucks. So on a private one-on-one coaching call, Chris, what I did with her, I'm telling everybody on this call, I'm talking to Chris, is for an hour straight, all I did was make up orders that were going to be well over 5 grand, and I had her role play closing them for an hour. I was like, put the ultimate in there, put the flatware in there, put the cookware in there. Okay, 10K order. Okay, now confidently ask me if I want to break that up over 5 months, 2 grand a month. Boom, 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 for an hour, for an hour, for an hour. Drill for skill, drill for skill, drill for skill. And the goal of that was just having her feel comfortable asking for 2 grand a month for 5 months, right? And what's really funny is no less than 72 hours later, she went out and did an appointment and she had a 5,000 CPO order, meaning that the line one was like 6 or 7,000. And she said to me, she goes, Rob, the old me would have been so scared to ask for 1,500 a month or 2 grand, whatever it turned out to be. But the fact that we spent an hour 3 days ago just like running through made up numbers and all this stuff and me feeling okay asking for 2 grand, I was not nervous at all. I was just very confident, and they saw the confidence in me. Like, I do this all the time, even though I don't. And she's like, yeah. And I just walked out with like a 5-6 grand order CPO. And the customer was happy. They got the ultimate set, they got the flatware, they got all these gadgets, right? And then also you can give the most free stuff. So that's something I tell Mrs. Jones too. I'm like, Mrs. Jones, like, if you want to get a set, like, I can just hook you up. Like, when you buy pieces, I really can't do much. I just level with them. I'm like, I can't do much. Like, but when you get a set, I can go to town giving you free stuff like that you're probably going to buy eventually, right? And they're like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Like, they want a better deal. People always want a better deal. So this is verbiage that I use to effectively establish a problem. You could take a screenshot of this if you want, but I'll just run through it right now just for time's sake. Verbiage to establish a problem. If you want to get good at sales, you just have to know the problems that your product or service solves and effectively create a space for someone to share their problems, and then you know what you're solving for. So it's called problem solution. That's all sales is just finding a problem and giving a solution, right? So the verbiage to help find out what the problems are is something that I wrote down here that's very, very, very effective. Mrs. Jones, I do this right before I get into showing the set. So if you're doing your demo and you're going through your blue book or something like that, so you got blue book, right? So, and you're going through here and then you're like, what is Cutco? So you got this slide right here. And then you got your disadvantages page right here. This is when I'm saying this. So if you're doing virtual demos, you might have something like this on your virtual demo, the disadvantages page. So, Mrs. Jones, I'm not sure if this relates to you or not, but the reason why a lot of people buy Cutco is because a lot of my customers are annoyed with these problems with their current knives. First, they get really annoyed when they buy knives and they're sharp, but then they go dull and they don't know where or how to get them sharpened. Another problem people are really annoyed with their knives is knives breaking and just having to buy new ones. And then you're left with like a hodgepodge of random knives in your drawers or a hodgepodge of random knives on your counter in a block, right? Do any of these problems kind of relate to you? Listen, acknowledge, and remind them throughout the demo. Remember how you said blank. Remember how active listening. So there's a skill set called active listening. You aren't born with it. You aren't like active listening is asking a question, hearing what someone says and repeating it back to them, and then reminding them throughout the entire time, right? So we do it all the time with our friends, but if you pay attention to it and you focus on it, it'll help you be really good at sales because you're solving your customers' problems. So if you do this question sequence that I just taught you guys, really simple, you just integrate it into your demo, you find out why this person would potentially buy Cutco, dull knives. So they're like, oh yeah, my knives are really dull. Or yeah, I do get really annoyed when my knives get really dull. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to hit home on the forever guarantee. Remember when you said you get annoyed with dull knives? Yeah, this guarantee solves that problem. We'll come out to your house and sharpen it for free, right? Perfect. So and keep reminding of that throughout the pitch, throughout your presentation. In order to sell Cutco kitchens or to sell sets, we have to know the problem that we're solving. We have to create a safe space. So these 4 points right here are what that question sequencing is helping with. Know the problem that you're solving for. Create a safe space to share because others are doing it. Okay, that's why I said, Mrs. Jones, a lot of other people are annoyed. That's very vague, but if you saw me do a demo for teaching purposes right now on this call, I'm keeping it very vague, but you'll hear me name drop. So I'll go, yeah, Mrs. Hammond, like if you're anything like Mrs. Thayer, she was really annoyed. And like I'm name dropping people that know each other and the problems that they had, and then the solution that we're getting towards with buying a set, right? And remind them for their problem, and then offer a solution which says the Cutco kitchen, but in this case, it's the ultimate signature homemaker, right? Names and uses of complete set. So some names and uses of the complete set. Here are the 3 most popular sets families like yours invest in. If you can swing the 5 pay, these are your best options. So notice how I'm bringing up the 5 pay before I even close. And I've already brought up the 5 pay a couple of times. Like I probably brought it up when I'm goal sharing. I probably brought it up as a joke, like Mrs. Jones, you can buy 100 grand today or break it up over 5 months. Our interest-free payment plan of 20,000 a month for 5 months, and I'm done, right? So I'm like, I probably broke it up. Like I probably said it a couple times, but that's why when I showed you guys my brochure, this is where I say that. So Mrs. Jones, we have the 5 pay option. So if you can swing it, that's what most people do, right? It's the best option. All right, so and then I don't get into every single piece. I call it the focus 5. So when I talk about the ultimate set, I just focus on 5 knives in the ultimate set that don't come in the homemaker set. So Mrs. Jones, your ultimate set comes with a bunch of different knives. You'll have the right tool for the right job. You'll have the boning knife for taking the fat off meat and the meat off bones. You'll have the Hardy slicer for your barbecuing. You'll have the salmon knife, which is kind of it's good for salmon, but it's also amazing for watermelons, cantaloupes, any type of melons. Like I call it the fruit ninja knife. Guys, I just cut up a massive watermelon last night and I used the salmon knife and I was like, this thing is slicing through like butter. Like this is amazing, right? And I just had so much fun cutting up a massive watermelon last night. And then the veggie knife for dicing, slicing, chopping, mincing. It's got a big surface area so you can scoop peppers onto it. And then the 4-inch paring knife, which is a little bit bigger than like a smaller paring knife in our basic set. So it has all the barbecue knives. You check the knives off the list. Most people buy this set or upgrade to it eventually. It's the biggest, baddest, best set we make, and it comes with our 12 steak knives. So I hype it up as the best set because it is. It really is. I have the ultimate set. I never have to worry about, oh, do I have the right tool for the right job? Am I going to hurt myself by trying to use the chef's knife to cut a watermelon? Nope, I got the salmon knife. This was super duper easy, right? Mrs. Jones, I'm not sure if this relates to you. So again, that problem solving that I was talking about, right? And then let me actually go back here. It's like, notice how I said most people buy this set or upgrade to it eventually, right? So my title of my message was selling bigger sets. I never said when. I never said sell bigger sets always in the moment. No, because that doesn't happen. I don't go out, everybody on this call, I don't go out and sell ultimates every day, signatures every day, homemakers every day. What I do is I show the ultimate signature homemaker and I say, Mrs. Jones, most people buy this set eventually, whether it's today and they just can swing it and they're like, yeah, I want to be done with knives, or they'll upgrade to it. So there's so many people that I meet that buy 3 or 4 knives from me today. So when you go out and do your appointments today and tomorrow and this week and you sell a paring knife and a cheese knife, don't get down on yourself. Just don't play that emotional roller coaster. Like, oh, Rob Brandt would have sold an ultimate, or Chris Hammond would have sold an ultimate, or Sebastian would have sold an ultimate. No, we sell paring knives all day, every day, right? But what happens when you start talking about people will eventually upgrade to it, that's when you get customers like myself, who a woman named Maria, I probably brought her up a million times. She's my go-to example for upgrades. Marie, I have 1,000 examples, but she's like perfect. did a demo for her. She didn't own any Cutco. She heard it was good. She liked Henkel's. She bought a 4-inch paring knife and a cheese knife from me, right? Walked away from there. Man, am I actually good at selling Cutco? Like, what just happened there? Like, how did I only sell $150 for an hour and a half of time, right? Anyway, she gave me a bunch of referrals. One of her friends bought a Siggy. But I said to her, I was like, hey, Maria, just warning you. I know you like to cook. I know you like Henkel's. I'm just warning you. Eventually, you're going to want the big set. My last words to her on the way out. And she goes, we'll see about that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And 6 months later, when I'm running my sale, and that's why I say everybody on this call, like, don't stop selling Cutco. Like, we'll market to your past customers. We'll text them during July. We'll text them during end of the year, November, December. And I told her, I was like, hey, I'll follow up in Christmas time. Maybe you guys might want to upgrade to an ultimate set. And I shot her a text, like I shot all my customers a text, and she didn't even respond back with like, Rob, she goes, Rob, you were right. I want the signature with steak knives. And I called her and I was like, I told you, Maria. Like, it was a fun, playful, like, I told you. And she's like, I know, I didn't want to believe you, but it's really good. It's way better than Henkel's. And I was like, yeah, it is. And she's like laughing. And I was like, what does your husband think about it? And she just goes, oh, because that was the main objection. She didn't want to buy a set. Not the main objection, but an objection. She's like, let me start off with a couple pieces. I don't want to drop like 2 grand right now. And I was like, what do your husband think? And she goes, oh, he's the one that told me to buy the big set. Like, after you left, like 3 weeks later, he started using the Cutco knives, and he's like, why didn't you just buy the big set? So it wasn't until you followed up with me that I bought the big set, right? So fortune is in the follow up, right? Just for time's sake, right here, problem solving, and then closing, leveraging management. So MGMT management, leveraging your managers, calling your managers. I think one of the best things that you could do is get your manager on the line and have them like talk to the customer if they're on the fence about a Homemaker Signature Ultimate, because Sebastian, Chris, Josh, Drew, everybody's like a wizard, and they'll like help you with a better price or get you some free stuff or like all that, right? So I think that's one of the best things that you can do. So closing sequence, when I close on the Ultimate, Signature, and Homemaker, I quickly summarize the sets. I remind them of the first call bonus. I'll ask them soft closing questions throughout the presentation. If you were to get Cutco, which set do you think would add the most value to you? Which color handles do you like? Which color block do you like? These are closing questions. A lot of reps wait till the end to ask these, but I'm doing micro closes throughout my presentation, which gives them a sense of ownership over it. And then my closes. So, Mrs. Jones, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask, would you like to get the ultimate set and help me towards my goals today with the first call special bonus? I can throw in some free stuff. Utilize the manager, right? So utilize your manager, call your manager with any questions. And then after you close on the knives, we'll skip this one. This is like a Cutco kitchen close. But I think what's really important is and that's why I show the Cutco kitchen, because I want them interested in a lot of things, not just the knives. But I think what's really important is how you end every conversation with your customers is get them excited about what they purchased from you today, and then plant the seed for upgrading to the Ultimate, Signature, Homemaker down the road. And again, I don't only upgrade to a Ultimate every time. I met a couple at an RV show. So again, get events trained at 20K. Like, that's something you should all fight for. That's like a big milestone in your career. And I worked an RV show, and I met an older couple, right? Retired. And they bought 2 knives from me. They never heard of Cutco. They bought 2 knives from me. And every interaction I have, I tell people, you're going to want to upgrade to our bigger sets. And they texted me like a month ago, and they were like, hey, we want to upgrade. And I got on the phone with them, and I figured out what set was perfect for them, and we upgraded to a Galley Plus 6. But it was still $1,000. Like, it's all good, right? So, upgrades are upgrades. So in closing, where to start, confidence in the sets, strategy behind showing sets. You got to know the names and uses and problem solving, right? And then when closing, leverage free product, leverage your managers. I was at an event the other day, and I sold. I was trying to upgrade someone. They had a couple of pieces with Cutco. They got it when they got married. I was trying to upgrade them to a Homemaker Plus 8. The husband was on the fence about it, but they referenced how they need an ice cream scoop. So we're talking about a $1,500 order here. They clearly could have threw a $60 ice cream scoop in there and wouldn't have batted an eye. But I was like, hey, if you guys want to do the upgrade today, I'll just throw in that ice cream scoop for free. And the husband was like, all right, let's do it. Like something as simple as that, right? Knowing what they want, throwing it in for free. Okay. I sold a Homemaker Plus 8 set to someone the other day, and they were on the fence. They were like, oh, I don't know if I could swing the 2,500 for the signature. I kind of can swing that $300 ish a month for the Homemaker set, but they don't come with the scissors. And I'm like, well, let's just make this really easy. If you want to do it today, I'll give you the scissors for free. And she was like, all right, cool. Here's my credit card. Right. So listening to your customers, throwing in stuff for free. Again, and you can't do that. You can't do that with pieces. You can't be like, oh yeah, Mrs. Jones, like here's your chef's knife and trimmer. Don't worry, I'll throw in the shears. No, like Cutco won't even let you process that order. So, the sets help you leverage a lot of free Cutco. And there is no shame in my free Cutco game. There is no shame in my free Cutco game. I give free Cutco all the time, all day, every day, whether it's closing a sale or getting 10 qualified leads in a really nice town. So, no shame in that, right? So, anyway, I hope this helps everybody on here, whether it's selling a galley set, an ultimate set, a homemaker set, a signature set, a complete set, a Cutco kitchen. So I hope this helps out a lot, right? So thanks, Sebastian. Classic. No shame in my free Cutco game. Yeah. All right, everybody. You guys have a great day. If you want to give some takeaways, that'd be awesome. I'll hand it back to you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Really to help sell any set. And I always use the minimum two table knives per member in the household rule. For example, we have 6, so we need the ultimate, right? 6 times 2 is 12. If there's a family of 5, that's a signature, right? 5 times 2 is 10. If it's an average family of 4, then that's kind of minimum a homemaker set. That's the mentality I went into every appointment there. So,
And
any other takeaways? Please drop them in the chat of what your favorite line was, your favorite section or part or one-liner or topic that Rob covered. Drop them in the yeah. Roy told me. Roy's like, this is my favorite thing of the week is the key staff. 9:15 to 10. Every customer, every time, Drew. I love that too. Hey, you never know. Every customer can get a homemaker set. And then go
I got a
from there.
quick question for Rob. Would you recommend the 3-set close for the most part? That's what I've like used for a long time. Do you feel like that
um,
goes well with
yeah,
this?
depending on where someone's at in their career sales, but yeah, I like the option close. But talk to your manager before implementing. So Sebastian, your reps, like have them talk to you and walk through that. Chris, Josh, like walk them through the try close, right? Option closing. It's very simple. I do the Goldilocks analogy, right? So this porridge is too hot, this porridge is too cold, this one's just right. Like if you show 3 options to people, they're gonna land on something that would add value to them, right?
Love it. When do you usually recommend that? What is there a certain career sales number? Because I got a few people on here I think would benefit from it.
I don't know. It just depends, but we can talk about this on separately. But I would say probably around like 10. If I was gonna make a mark, I'd say like 10 grandish. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, lots of people said the confidence is name dropping, being confident in the set. You have to take the shots. Drop closing lines throughout the presentation, Porter said. Everything he said was very helpful. Iana said,
Thank you.
soft closing.
Before we wrap up, can I get a thumbs up from everybody on here? Well, thumbs up. Oh man, this is great. Love it.
Thinking for Deanna, making it sound it's not that expensive. Yeah, five pay, you get it right away. It's only that for 5 months, and then you have it the rest of your life. Just remember, guys, cell phones they made these addictive for a reason. That means we're locked into a monthly payment for the rest of our lives. Okay,
Yeah, you can't get off.
To my mom is 85 and she stares at her. My dad too. Sorry, my dad's 85. My mom's 83. And and they stare at their phones all the time. I'm like, man, what an invention. That's a monthly payment for the rest of someone's life. Okay, this is 5 months, and they have it for the rest of their life, and they use it for the rest of their life. Like their cell phone, they will use their knives for the rest of their life, but it's only 5 months instead of hundreds and hundreds of months. Okay. Uh, so just remember that. What a great deal this is of Cutco. I can't wait to see most of you. I think most of the people, these names I recognize on the attendee list. So if you haven't got for tomorrow, but SC1 is tomorrow, Rob. We're going to be in Syracuse
Nice.
at the
I love it.
Destiny Mall USA, and I think most of the people here are signed up for that. And if not, ask your manager. We still have some. We do have a few slots left, a few openings left. We have the world famous annual loaded potato bar that's going to be there. Free video games after. Everyone's going to get a 30-minute unlimited. They have all types of games, virtual reality games, fun games, games of skill, you name it. A free 30-minute card after the conference to play, and lots of cool stuff. So we'll see mostly again in person tomorrow at the Destiny Mall from 12 to 6. And next week is I'm sorry, what's the topic for June 24th? I didn't have it in front of me. Do you have it in front of you, Rob? I can look it up.
What did you say? Oh,
June 20 sorry, June 24th. Oh, Rex and phone skills. Yes. I was hoping for that one coming
yeah.
up soon.
Yeah, Rex is good, and then no call the following week. Just a heads up, it's my 1 week where I take vacation.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. It's July 4th week. I get it.
Yeah.
So but next week, guys, is Rex and phone tips. That's I would say argue that would probably be one of the most important topics of the summer.
I think I am like from my own skill set, everybody on this call, I think I am the best at recommendations personally and the best at on the phone. And nationwide, I would say I'm the best networker and recommendations getter, if that's a phrase, in the entire company. In the
I would
entire
agree.
company. You guys are going to learn how to get crazy, awesome recommendations. I'm going to give you guys the goods next week. So much so, Chris Hammond, I'll give you this, and Sebastian, you guys know Brandon Brown. You know Brandon Brown. He ships like $1 million a year. Well, Brandon Brown has a coaching program, like I have a coaching program. He works with top CSPs that ship 500 grand, Chris. And Brandon's one of my great friends. Like we competed together against scholarships, and he knows how good I am at recommendations. So Brandon actually pays me to coach his top CSPs on how to relearn, re-remember getting recommendations.
That's great. And these guys are going to get it for free next week. So
exactly, pretty good deal.
Awesome.
Pretty good deal.
That's great. Thanks, Rob. Thanks,
All right.
everyone. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.